Hey, what is up guys? Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Blue Archive video. So let's talk a little bit more about the 100 free pulls. It's going to start tomorrow. So let's talk a little bit more about this because we have the patch notes going on right now. Now, I'm a big fan of RIO. I love RIO. Alright, so this is going to be something that you guys have to be aware of coming into this conversation. I know a lot of you guys like her as well. Now, RIO has one of the spiciest L to D ever, and in terms of like her overall aesthetics, her GB style and stuff, I definitely think that RIO is going to be a better character by far. But this is going to be something that we have to realize sometimes, right? When it comes to the meta, alright, perspective, I do think that RIO is going to be a little bit behind compared to HIMARI. Alright, HIMARI BATTLESUIT is going to be a better character for most of you guys to pull if you can only pick one. Now, ideally, you know, I would say, hey, go all in, right? Go all in, get both, get one copy of HIMARI BATTLESUIT and get one copy of RIO. Now, we're gonna try to break down a little bit for you guys about what they can both do. But if you guys are not aware already, these two are going to be coming this week. Now, it is going to be a 1 week thing. You are going to get 100 free pulls for the RIO and of course HIMARI banner. So my recommendation is to wait until the last day before you make a decision to spend even more, right? Because 100 pulls is not enough for you to spark or PT a character. You need 200 pulls. So therefore, you're going to need to decide based upon the last day, right? That's going to be, I think on the 9th day, you're going to get the additional 20 pulls. Toki will be free, so you don't have to worry about Toki as much. And that's essentially it, right? So let's talk a little bit more about these two characters, right? RIO Battle and HIMARI Battle. So why is RIO Battle not that good or not recommended, right? I wouldn't say she's bad. I would just say that in comparison or in contrast to HIMARI, HIMARI BATTLESUIT is just going to be way better. Now, RIO, she's going to be a DPS character. So that's in itself is going to be a little bit difficult because now you're competing against other single target raid or explosive type students, right? So she's going to be a 4-cost here that can do 2576% damage to one enemy. Alright, she has this particular thing that increased critical damage by 41%. Alright, that's pretty cool and all. She has increased attack 26.6%. And when attacking enemy with light armor, 20% chance to increase the amount of effective damage taken by 11.6%. So this is going to be quite good. There's a damage taken right here to help you out with that, right? So right now, in terms of the, if you look at the space of the students that we have, right, in terms of explosive type, it is dominated by Dress Hina. Let's all be honest here, right? You guys probably, if you have her, you're probably going to use her in all of your content, right? So if you to sort the single target space, Dress Hina is going to be literally, she's the number one, right? Number one student to be able to use, to be able to basically try to prioritize over all the other students, right? So Dress Hina, number one. So who is going to be number two? We have somebody like, I would say number two is going to be tight, right? Aru can still be very, very useful depending on the situation. She's a 4-cost. She's much more of an AoE character, but single target, she is still quite powerful, right? If you are going to be able to take advantage of her, especially she's going to be farmable, right? But outside of that, Azusa is going to be a very, very strong one. Very, very strong contender. High multiplier right here at 2000%. I do think that Azusa is going to need a little bit of buff. Hopefully, we can get her unique equipment later on. So Azusa alongside with Saori, if you guys did build Saori, she's also going to be a very, very strong one. Now, I personally did not build Saori. So in my opinion, Saori can also be a strong one, alright? Guaranteed critical damage. If you need a single target, alright? DPS character, then Saori is going to be very, very strong. But in most cases, Dress Hina is going to be more than enough, right? You have Dress Hina, maybe you borrow one more Dress Hina, and that should be it, right? Now, the rest of the students, you know, they're going to be much more centered or focused alongside in doing AoE damage, right? When it comes to explosive type, right? I would say those that I mentioned, you know, Dress Hina, Azusa, Aru, and Saori, those should be more than enough. You don't need like 5 or 6 single target DPS, right? Now, if you do obtain RIO, right, you can definitely use her, right? For sure, you can definitely use her, you can build her up. It's just that, you know, for DPS students, DPS slots are going to be a little bit more expensive to invest into generally because you gotta like get their stars up and stuff, right? Unless you pull multiple copies, then you have to use your Enigma. That's going to be where it's going to be a very complicated conversation. But when it comes to BATTLESUIT HIMARI, because she's going to be a supporter, she's way cheaper to build. That's going to be where her viability comes out, right? Now, where she shines, you can see she's going to be a piercing character that does elastic armor, right? So her armor doesn't matter because she's a special type, right? She stays at the back special students. So she is going to be a character that summons this particular wheelchair. Alright, this wheelchair is going to give buffs. It has HP as well. It stays on the battlefield, and then you are going to get healing in the circular area. That's number one. You're also going to get a little bit of buff. Right here you can see up to 76% extra penetration damage to one ally. Again, that's very good. She also will give you critical damage of one ally by 15.1%. She also increased cost recovery. Again, very valuable stuff, especially if you're trying to do any piercing raids. She also right here will be able to do a little bit of damage on her own, and she can heal. Alright, so all of this combined makes her one of the better support students in the game right now. Now, it's a little bit upsetting because I do like RIO, alright? Looking at her design, looking at her chibi, I'm a big fan of this particular RIO for sure, right? Now, the truth is, RIO already has one costume that shines in the meta right now, and that's going to be, you know, the default RIO, right? Everybody knows. So the default RIO, that's going to be more than enough. If you have this particular version of RIO, yep, this is going to be super meta. She's not falling off anytime soon. You know, like, but Himari on the other hand, she has sort of like I wouldn't say like fall off to the point that she's no longer being used. You can still use her, right? But it's just that right now she's getting less and less use, I think, for a lot of meta students. We got Swimsuit Nagisa competing in the special student space. We also got Kisaki right there, right? And then it's like RIO, I mean Himari is like sort of like not being used anymore, unless he's talking about second or third team. But for the main team, I feel like that's where now we got a Battlesuit Himari coming in. And in my opinion, this is going to be a good thing for the balance of the students, right? Again, feel free to, you know, get whoever that you want. Meta-wise, definitely go for Himari. Alright, if you care about meta, and that's going to be where you're looking at specifically. Now, if you want to pull for your waifu and RIO's your waifu, you want to get both regardless, that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So alongside with what's happening this week, we're going to get a bunch of new main story chapter as well. Very cool. We're going to get the operational plan, Steel Continent Allied Operation right here. Alright, event period is going to go on. You can see we are going to get a massive big event. This is going to be like a unified event, unique to during the fest period, right? So bridge special mission right here, you can see. And then we're gonna get a Toki arm as well, right? You can farm for Toki's shards. So if you are interested in that, you should definitely consider looking into that, right? Right here you can see a bunch of these battles you can clear. The Bina, Chist, Hold, all of this battle, and all of this is going to give you a special currency, and you can see Toki's LF can be farmed. Now let's talk about Toki a little bit, just to give you guys an idea where she stands in the meta, right? She's going to be a support, middle kind of striker character, also a piercing type, but her armor is going to be light type. So right here you can see, if the specified target is an enemy, deal damage and stun them, alright? 3 seconds. If the target is an ally, she can heal them, right? And remove one debuff. So she can essentially do both. If you're looking for a, you know, like a heal sort of thing, she can basically do that. Duration of the stun increase based upon charge level, and the number of debuffs removed is increased by 1. So if you are lacking in any like potential healer, she can be used right there, right? Every 40 seconds, increase attack by 47.5%, and then she can increase attack and healing. And then when attacking enemy with heavy armor, she will also do additional damage, right? So she's going to be not bad for like a, I would say for a welfare character. Welfare essentially means that characters that you obtain for free during this period of event, she's actually not bad. But if you're talking about overall in all the students that we have in terms of the viability, she's not going to be insanely good in heal. There's better healers, right? We got, you know, the dress Michiru recently. There's also going to be a Koharu already that a lot of players might have. So those healers that specialize in those areas specifically for healing are going to be better, right? Whereas she's going to be a little bit of both. She can do damage, she can heal. You know, if you don't need a character specifically for heal, right? Or you're trying to like speedrun, very easy difficulty for Total Assault or Grand Assault, that's where this particular Toki shines. But in my opinion, right, farm as much as you can, and I wouldn't worry about spending stamina too much, because during the fast period, you guys are aware, there's also going to be triple drops in the campaign as well. So it's going to clash a little bit, so now you gotta decide, right, where do you actually farm? It is going to be a very complicated one. So that's going to be something that, you know, we can wait for a little bit, and, you know, you can decide upon that, right? So one more thing is you are going to get a new battle pass if you guys are interested. The battle pass, I've talked about this before, right? In the previous fair student, the last one was Mika Furniture, right? I can show it to you guys, but I'm not sure if she's right there in the cafe. But right here, this is going to be the swing, is going to be the Mika's furniture right here. So she's not right there. I can invite her right there, but that's going to be where she is at. So that's going to be her exclusive furniture. Now, when it comes to this exclusive furniture, right, ideally that's going to be the main price. You are going to get essentially a cosmetic stuff if you are going to buy this particular one. And this time it's going to be for Battle Aris. All right, so that's going to be a student that you are going to obtain later on. Hopefully, if you buy the battle pass, you got to get her, right? Or else, like, she's not going to appear there in your particular dormitory. You are going to get 2 different furniture for Battle Ares. One is going to be free, the one that's flying in the window. This one is going to be the paid one, right? There's also going to be the final restriction release Jogma. There's also going to be 100 free pulls, like I mentioned. Plenty of login events. This is going to be one of the best time to play Blue Archive, as you guys can see. This one is going to give you another 1,002 pyroxenes. That's a lot, right? And then you get all of this stuff going on right here. There will be a new type called the corrosive and composite armor that will be added. As you guys can see, this one is going to be quite cool. It's going to be added into the game later on. But for now, we don't really have any attack corrosive characters yet. That will be happening later on. And you can see right now, we are going to get a bunch of shops reset as well. So keep in mind, that will be happening at the beginning of the month. These are going to be the interactions for the Chibis students, right? We got Battle Rio, Battle Toki, and then both of them can be there together playing. And then, of course, you got Himari arm in the portable kitchen. All of those things are pretty cool. All of these shop packs will refresh as well accordingly. So that's going to be something that we'll look at later on alongside with some of the pyroxenes reset. And then Steam client apparently will get an update as well. You can see right here, there will be some controls that will help you a little bit, right? So you can also have this cursor movement that you can basically take advantage of. Or apparently you can play with controller now, right? I'm not sure if before this you can play it using controller. I'm just using mouse and keyboard usually, right? And then there's going to be QR code as well. That will be this stuff, all right? Plenty of updates coming. And I'm glad, all right, for Blue Archive, if you are a Blue Archive enjoyer, or if you have been looking to play Blue Archive for the longest time ever, or even come back to the game, right? This is going to be a very, very good time. So regardless, that's going to be it for this particular video. I'm going to go work on my starter guide. You guys will see it very, very soon. Hopefully, I'll release it by this week, right? I'll try my best. But for anyone that's looking forward to playing Blue Archive, that will be the video that, you know, you have to stay tuned for. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned, subscribe, give this video a like if you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Goodbye.